So, the longer we put up with this evil, the less likely we are to stand firm against it. I do not want to be one to cower under the pressures of an unknown lawyer, the ACLU, or somebody in California, Massachusetts, not picking on you states, could be right here in Montana, could be in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Nevada, wherever, who wants to expend me of my God-given rights. I want to stand up and use what I know I've got. And I want to encourage you to also. You too on YouTube. But I believe in order to make progress, we must reinvest in faith and in family, and then perpetually reinvest those new discovered dividends that we bring forward through each of us fulfilling our perpetual duties. We must reinvest those in the lives, not just of ourselves, but of others. If evil government, say, was cultured in a petri dish, the current mutated form of ill government we are currently culturing in that petri dish only needs the following in order to continue: citizens with no time, divided interests, how about divided homes, children with no mothers or fathers, secular minds plagued with apathy, debt-riddenness and the pressure from that, unbridled children, emotions, and anger, and of course the dangers of limited enlightenment, entering into the fray of politics only to continue a path of legalized plunder. Because we haven't maintained the course to secure our endowment, we lack vigilance is the reason. Vigilance is not an easy road. That is why Matthew chapter 7 says there are few that find it because they don't look for it. It takes an investment of time in order to truly find it. We don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of money. Take an enormous amount of time to reinvest in understanding something that we don't understand. There's a word. It's called the nastiest word in the English language. It's called procrastination. And the definition of that I learned out east in 1990. The definition of the word procrastination is that it will steal your future and rob you of your destiny. All you got to do is put off what you should have done today until tomorrow. It's just that you can't count on tomorrow. And we need to realize, even though we face difficult times, that that responsibility is not abdicated in times of despotism. The wide road to despotism doesn't need much time to be looked for, because it is the most popular path that everyone else seems to be on, and if we're not careful, we'll find ourselves following the large crowd down that path ourselves. But what we've learned in these segments here is that with the certain endowment fund of our rights noted in our Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness comes the ultimate duty, the title of this 4-part series. What we have found is that it is our duty to be right-minded, because it is our endowment to refocus our attention on understanding that all men are created equal and to understand just what that means. Plus, we must bring forward the life that has the belief and the desire to secure those blessings. We must know again what our founding fathers exactly knew, that the perpetual income of unalienable rights comes with our inalienable duty. Treat it as a taxation, if you would, a taxation that we pay based on a proportion or a direct proportion of our appreciation of that incoming asset. And we only show that we've paid those taxes by our proven abilities to secure these rights and pass these responsibilities on to succeeding generations. Also, it would be beneficial for us to see wealth in a different frame of mind. Wealth has to be seen more than monetary income. Monetary wealth and physical safety is what evil governments use to lure its partakers. True wealth must now be seen as principled people made in the image of God. Rights and or duty must now be seen to mean something more than a monetary tax on that physical income, but the diligence and principles we pay to God as a taxation on the faith we need in order to secure the blessings of God. He gave us this life to invest in ourselves in understanding our personal purpose, and then in turn invest what we have found in the lives of others. There's a scripture verse in Jeremiah 22, verses 15 through 17, God talking to Jeremiah in order to speak to a king. God said, told Jeremiah to say, "Do you become a king because you are competing in cedar? Did not your father eat and drink and do justice and righteousness? Then it was well with him. He pled the cause of the afflicted and needy. Then it was well. Is that not what it means to know me? Thus declares the Lord. But your eyes and your heart are intent upon your own dishonest gain and on shedding innocent blood and on practicing oppression and extortion." Today, our presidents seem to be elected to repeat the mantra of their job is to make our lives easier, to improve the economy. And they think that economy is central to ease of life. That's only partially correct. When you take out the element of God and our philosophy of our country, then it's going to become physical in a hurry. God, speaking to Solomon in 2 Chronicles 7:11 through 14, says the following: "Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord in the king's palace and successfully completed all that he planned on doing in the house of the Lord and in his palace. Then the Lord appeared to Solomon at night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place for my name as a house of sacrifice. If I shut up the heavens so that there is no rain, or if I command the locust to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, and my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, will forgive their sin, and will heal their land."